I want to talk about Zach Wilson and kind of where he is right now and what it means for the Jets moving forward. The Jets have done a really, really nice job putting this team together. And somebody was giving me shit recently because I saw Joe Douglas had all these picks and cap space this year. And that's why like what he did this year should make an executive of the year. Like who gave him all of those? That's why executive of the year is hard because the moves you made 2 years ago help you make the moves that you're making now. But like, should it be this calendar year? How do you end up doing it? Joe Douglas has done a very good job of putting this team together. They have a lot of things in place. Is Zach Wilson the guy to bring all of that together based on the way that he has played right now? Because the last time we saw him play against this Patriots team, it was a nightmare. It was an absolute disaster. So where are you at with Zach Wilson right now, halfway into his second season?
A lot of the stuff that I was hoping to see growth from him, I haven't seen consistently. And he's shown flashes. That's what his whole game is. It's flashes. It's the trick shots. But when he is the consistent stuff, when he has a clean pocket and where his eyes are calm and his feet are calm and he knows exactly where he's going with the ball, he looks great. I mean, he will hit a in-breaker with the best of them, and they love it. LaFleur is that in that Shanahan offense. They'll go in the gun. They'll do the gun runs, fake gun runs with a glance route, a drift route, whatever you want to say, and he'll whip that ball in there with the best of them. It's really good to see that. The touchdown to Conklin against this team, he hits it right in the red zone. And on that play, Zach Wilson takes a calm drop. His footwork's nice and sound, doesn't take an extra hitch, and places the ball perfectly. The thing is that is always just scary with him is that it's just not consistent. Has the offensive line been hurt? Yes. Elijah Vera-Tucker was playing very well until he got hurt. Breece Hall was a nice, really nice player for him. He gets hurt as well. They trade for James Robinson, but James Robinson, as much as I like him, is not Breece Hall. Breece Hall is a star. Even as a rookie, it's like, oh, this guy's different. Michael Carter is a nice player. Again, they have all these nice players. The receiver corps is great. Garrett Wilson, all these guys. God, nice to see Denzel Mims out there again, by the way. But watching Zach Wilson is that a lot of times I feel like he just doesn't trust off his first read. I feel like he struggles to progress at times. And I was hoping to see maybe more growth from that. And I think just right when you were hoping to see that growth, he has played some tough defenses too. That's another thing. But hoping to see that growth, and the play that sticks out in my mind is against the Broncos. The Broncos are amazing pass defense. Honestly, as much as we laugh at that Broncos offense, we've talked about on the show, that Broncos defense is very, very enjoyable to watch. But they bring a simulated pressure. Michael Carter, because he's a stud, picks up the protection, easy, like doesn't even hesitate. It's a nice, clean pocket. But as soon as Zach Wilson catches the snap, he bails out of the pocket and he goes into creation mode. He can't. It's good that he can do those things, that he can create. That's why he got drafted so high. His BYU tape.
I don't want him to be in creation mode.
No,
I'm out on him in creation mode.
No,
we'll talk about that in a second.
In the NFL, because he's not playing against, these teams that were with the receivers with Dax Milne dunking on guys down the field. He's playing against real NFL defenses that are going to punish when you make these. I mean, ask Josh Allen. When you just like miss those throws just a little bit, they punish you. It's not just a drop ball or incompletion. So I think that he has to get to he has to do the easy stuff. He has to learn to be comfortable progressing from the pocket. His feet have to not be so happy. He has the George Miller happy feet. And I think that just comes up sometimes. You like that? I think it just comes up sometimes. And that's where the blemishes come. And it's like the longer the play goes, the more he becomes unraveled. And so I think it's just that he has to keep things short and tight to see more growth. And he hasn't, I'm not, it's been a little disappointing because I thought I would see more of this.
He's gotten worse.
Yeah. And that's what's a little scary. And that's what's a little scary for me. Yeah. Okay. And so that's what I'm hoping.
Last year it was negative 0.58 EPA per dropback when pressured. This year it's negative 0.98. Okay. It's dead last in the NFL comfortably. That means that every single time he is pressured when they're dropping back, it's a point. They lose a point.
It's a rouge. Every time he goes rogue, it's a rouge. There we go. That's what
Josh Allen and Mahomes are at like 0. Yeah. So it's a point difference between him and the best quarterbacks in the league when he's pressured. When he's not pressured, on plays where he is not pressured, where do you think Zach Wilson ranks in EPA per dropback?
Oh, not pressured?
Not pressured.
8th?
4th.
Ooh.
Patrick Mahomes, Tua, Jimmy Garoppolo, Zach Wilson. Jalen Hurts
Oh
is
my
fifth.
God. Tua, Jimmy G, and Wilson are all in the same bunch there. That's actually
So,
kind of funny.
so here he's gotten worse under pressure than he was last year. We've joked about this before. He has a 6 passer rating when pressure this year. 6. It's not a typo. You can see this 2 ways, in my opinion. Those issues he has under pressure and his inability to play with feel and operate as things get condensed, as things flash around him, which we were worried about coming into the league. Yep. Because BYU, he never had to do it. Nope. There was a stone wall in front of him at all times. He had Brady Christensen was an NFL offensive lineman. They were so much better than the people that they played against.
Yep.
You never had to be concerned about it. So maybe he just can't operate when that's happening. Maybe it short circuits him, and this is going to be something that follows him forever, and it can't be fixed. Or you take the opposite view, which I think is tempting.
Yeah.
Historically, play under pressure is volatile and unstable. It kind of bounces all around the place. What you do under clean circumstances is much more stable and predictive.
Right.
And he's been really good in those situations. So when they get better up front, you think about all the offensive line injuries they've endured, right? Mm-hmm. Like Dwayne Brown, Cedric Abui is their right tackle right now.
I know.
Like that's where we're at. Nate Herbig. I mean, that's where we're at right now. They lost Becton, Fan, Max Mitchell, AVT. They've built the rest of this thing up. There's no pass catcher excuses. It's not like watching Tua last year or watching Justin Fields now. They have guys that can make plays. They have playmakers. They have receiving options. But if the line gets better and if he gets better protection, can he kind of channel those areas where he's been really good? That becomes like the crucial Zach Wilson question. And I don't know what the answer is because it's impossible to know without better play up front because it's been bad. The last couple of years, it has been bad.
Yes. Outright bad. Horrible. And, yes. And that is the optimist, the glass half full side is he got hurt in camp. So he missed the beginning parts of the year. He hasn't played a lot of games. He's young. And these quarterbacks are coming into the league younger and younger. And that's what they're declaring earlier. You know, we got a lot more redshirt sophomores declaring and true juniors and all that. So I do think it's like he just needs the reps. It's just that you want to see more. I'm saying the flashes of those good plays with the creation plays. It's just the flashes from the pocket when it was clean. It's just that you don't always see. And like, that's the thing is if I'm going to be, I've held on to every ounce of my stock or not ounce, every paper of shred of Justin Fields stock and every shred of Trevor Lawrence stock. And I made excuses for them and how they're not getting help. I do think Zach Wilson has had the best situation as far as pass catchers, and the offensive line has been up and down as far as pass protection. You know, I think they're pretty good in the run game. I think LaFleur does a great job in the red zone. He's one of the most creative red zone designers because they do all those gadget plays. But having said that, he does have to show the growth of when it is clean. And that's why it's so hard when guys are just taking those lumps. The Justin Fields discussion we've had multiple times. They're taking the lumps and all the stuff. They're trying to do the right things. It's just that when it has been clean, I just haven't seen those glimpses of him being confident with it, unless it's 1, 2, 3, ball out. It's like, again, when the play is longer, if he has to take a 7-step drop, 5 out of the gun, it's like I'm holding my breath. If he has to turn his back to the defense, I'm holding my breath. But if he just gets to keep things clean and keep it tight and under that 2.5 seconds or less, it's like, okay, I could see the glimpses there. But in the NFL, you got to do more. You know, as an NFL quarterback, you have to do more.
As what I was saying about not wanting him to be in creation mode anymore. This is the last stat I'm going to throw out. Time to throw of 3 seconds or longer in the NFL this season. He's completing 25% of his passes, which is dead last in the league. He has a passer rating of 33, which is dead last in the league. His EPA per dropback is negative 0.5, which is dead last in the league. Mahomes is at positive 0.42. So when they hold on to the ball for more than 3 seconds, there's a 1-point swing between Zach Wilson and Patrick Mahomes this year.
Jeez,
crazy.
See, and that's great. And it's always fun when, I know it's not fun for Jets fans ears, but it's fun for us when an eye test thing shows up in the stats because that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like every time that happens, it's like the Jets are losing half a point when he's getting into that creation mode.